So I just finished reading Inglorious Empire by Shashi Tharoor. In this book, he basically tells you more about the British Raj than you would want to know because it is not pleasant. You see, the Brits, they look at what they did for India as a kind of altruistic act. They think of it as them doing us a favor. They look at us as if we are their subjects, and the Queen and all of those people from those times, whenever the reign began in the 18th century till the 20th century, they always said the Indians are like children, they don't know what they want. The Brits think that they gave us the railways. The Brits think that they gave us a great language which helped unite everyone. The Brits feel that all of the Indians were dispersed and fighting and a bit barbaric and jungle-like, and the Brits came into the picture and they assisted us in uniting. Shashi Tharoor says that the Brits gave us cricket, but cricket is an Indian man's sport made by the white man. He speaks of tea. Did you know that a lot of deforestation happened in Assam because the Brits wanted it to exclusively be for tea, and all the tea that was made actually went back to England because England was not able to conquer China, China being the only place on earth which had tea. We used to have a lot of wildlife. The Brits killed almost all tigers and leopards, but many of them survived because they don't require massive land areas. But the lions, before the Brits captured India, there were thousands of lions in India, but many of them died under the British Raj. Also, a lot of deforestation happened in Assam because of tea. They thought that the Indian literature, Churchill hated the Indian people. He often lamented about how unruly we are, how barbaric we are, how like slaves we are, and we are completely untrustworthy, and we need to be ruled by stampeding us with the foot. Stamping us with the foot, with a boot. The shipping industry in India, because we have one of the biggest coastlines in the world, was very prominent. The Brits came and they ruined it. They made a certain kind of steel, and they said only this kind of steel can be exported from India, and the only recipient of this steel can be the Brits, who won't pay any export fee because India is a part of Britain, even though they don't look at us with anything but mercantile eyes. They ruined the shipping industry of India because Indian wood is far superior. I think we use timber and they use something else back in England. The locomotive industry, which was thriving in India in 1910, I want to say, we could have actually been very good at cars, but the English chose to shut that down. During World War, many millions of Indians died because they fought alongside the English, and the English told India, we're going to help you become independent post the First World War. But nothing of that sort happened. In the army, they recruited 50% of Muslims and 50% of non-Muslims, primarily because they wanted to cause this divide and rule between the Muslims and the non-Muslim, the Hindus. The railways were so poor that even in those days the Indians complained of it. But the only reason the railways was made so that all the raw material and all the finished product can be taken from point A to the shipping port where they can be shipped off to Britain. Many of our raw materials was taken from India, sent to Britain and re-exported to India, where Indians had to pay a very high fee for something which they used to be very good at. All the handicrafts were let go. Cloth merchants, jewels, they stole a lot of our jewels. The Queen called us children. There were no hospitals built. There was very little done by way of irrigation. People often say that Indians were a class which were ruled by a lot of people. They say the Mughals first ruled us and then the Brits ruled us. I want to correct you, my friends. The Mughals were nowhere as merciless as the English were. The Mughals genuinely cared about their subjects. The Mughals did not want the farmers to suffer. Nobody died under the Mughal rule. India was self-sustainable at that point in time. Before the English came, we were we had a living standard of that of the English, but in 150 plus years of British rule, we barely did anything. There are lakhs of villages in India, but when the British Raj left India, only 1500 villages had electricity. To sum it up, I am not a fan of England anymore. I will never support the English. He has really opened my eyes with this book. It was very difficult to read, but it should be essential reading for all Indians. I don't know how long it'll last, but I feel really bad for my people. Shashi Tharoor also says just the British Raj is not the only reason India has not failed to come out of the shadows. There are many other changes which are required. For example, Britain is a small island country, India is a massive land, and yet we still follow the president and prime ministership kind of format, whereas India should have a president like many other countries do to do well. Basically, the entire British Raj was a complete farce. It was quite similar to slavery, but the Indians are very forgiving people and we forgive very easily. This book is a reminder of what England did. I heard the book in audiobook format, so I was able to understand a lot of things, and it's not an easy read. There are 10 big chapters, it's about 8 to 10 hours of listening time. He speaks very well. You will not be able to catch many words, but he will reshape your English to a certain degree. Having said that, I give this book 5 stars out of 5 stars. I highly recommend it. This was a quick summary and review of Inglorious Empire by Shashi Tharoor. I'm a fan for life. What do I say? Thank you for watching my review. Bye.